Dear friends of the Tom Photo channel, let's try to answer the question which Fujifilm film simulation produces the sharpest photos. Sharpness is the amount of detail in the photo, essentially intensity differences between neighboring pixels. It can be measured by the rise distance of an edge within the image. Deceptive sharpness for a viewer can differ from the so-called real sharpness because color, contrast, and even the overall mood of the photo can influence how sharp the image will look to you. I took some photos with my Fujifilm X-T30 as raw images and then converted them to all Fujifilm simulations. I then measured their sharpness as I detail in my image sharpness video. The link is below. Let's see what I got. These are the relative sharpness values of color film simulations for the road and the foliage photo. I was surprised to see Classic Chrome to come out on absolute top. My blind guess for the first place would have been Velvia, but here Velvia was only third. Pronag High was the second. As expected, Eterna was the least sharp, and it's supposed to be that because it's a base simulation for making films. Let's now add the monochrome simulations here, and many of them beat Classic Chrome as you can see. Acros simulations are the sharpest of all, especially Acros with red filter. Let's repeat the same with another photo, bright yellow birch leaves. Looking at the color film simulations, we get a similar order. Classic Chrome, followed by Pronag High, Astia, and only then Velvia. Yes, Astia and Velvia have now traded places. Monochromes are in a similar order too, with small changes. All Acros simulations are better than any of the black and whites, just like we saw previously. Again, Acros with red filter gets the first place. And what a wonderful result it is. I actually like it more than the colored version. Here, the black and white with red filter also beats Classic Chrome. Classic Chrome is actually the closest to monochrome in its appearance. So that maybe explains why it is the closest in sharpness to the monochromes. Until now, both of the photos have given us the same results, but they also had pretty similar color schemes. So I think it is too early to generalize anything yet. Let's try other Fuji cameras and other different types of photos as well. Let's take a picture of a cat with Fuji X-E2. This photo is different because it has a lot of detail and very little color, because my cat is close to being monochrome. Regardless of that, I still love her. Only Velvia put some reddish brown color on the cat. Classic Chrome still appears the sharpest to the algorithm, but we now have standard film simulation in the second place, and then Velvia. Pronag Standard is the least sharp, and this is expected. The X-E2 does not have Eterna film simulation, and it doesn't have Acros. So, when we add monochromes to the list, we can only add black and white and sepia. Here, black and white with green filter beats Classic Chrome. Previously, red filter produced sharper images. This time it's green because the cat's photo does not have very much warm color that the red filter could enhance. It contains more cooler, greener tones. Let's try one more camera and one more photo. This time I use Fujifilm X-T20. Only small parts of the photo are in focus, and the predominant color of this region is red. When looking at color film simulations, this time the top spot is taken by Pronag High, followed very closely by Velvia, and then by Classic Chrome. Interesting. There's so much bright color that Classic Chrome no longer cuts it. Velvia is doing better because it brings in more color and therefore the mean rise distance goes up. This time, even the Pronag Standard is not too far behind the rest. Let's bring in the monochrome simulations, and the results are quite shocking. What is going on with Acros? It is so much sharper than the rest, especially with the red filter because the rose is red. But wait, something is wrong here. It doesn't look so much sharper to me than the standard color simulation, for example. Let's see those at the pixel level side by side. And now it all becomes clear. This photo contains a lot of smooth areas with very little detail, and we see clearly now that Acros has introduced grain in the smooth areas. We also see the same with the black and white film simulations. So a lot of the so-called sharpness actually comes from grain, which fools the sharpness algorithm and which you may want to call noise if you will. It turns out that Fujifilm adds the grain on purpose to achieve a more classic black and white film feel. So, comparing color and monochrome film simulations is a bit like comparing apples and oranges. Pro-NEX Standard contains the least amount of grain at the pixel level, but it also comes out as the least sharp. So what were the lessons learned? First, we cannot directly compare color and black and white film simulations. Second, the same film simulation is not the sharpest in all situations. Third, classic chrome is often the sharpest color film simulation. Fourth, Velvia is not as sharp as it appears to the eye at the macro level, especially with less colorful photos. Fifth, Pro-NEX Standard is a great smooth color simulation that consequently may work well for low light work. And sixth, Acros is the least smooth simulation and it's got a lot of micro level structure, but it sure looks fine in many situations. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. If you want to support me, I truly appreciate your subscriptions and your likes. Have a great day. Till the next time.